Good morning, slow cookers. We've had our coffee, we've got our slow cooker bowl, we've got our ingredients. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I've taken the time this morning to saute off some bacon, some onion, to get ready to put into the slow cooker for the pork and prunes that we're making today. Now, I've decided to cook this off because there's a lot of rawness in this dish with the marinated pork. So that's about a teaspoon of seeded mustard and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard with some salt and pepper marinated overnight. So I showed you that last night. I've literally just pulled that out the fridge, unwrapped it, and it's ready to go. So I thought I'll saute off the onions and the bacon, and you'll find caraway seed is in a lot of German cooking. So I've also added a teaspoon of caraway seed and toasted that off with the onions and the bacon just to release some of that flavor. Now, in previous videos, I've said that you don't have to cook anything off if you don't want to. That's fine. You can put all of this in raw if you want to. It doesn't matter. The reason I've chosen to cook this off this morning is purely just to release some of that caraway flavor and to provide an element of caramelization to some of the food that we're putting in today. So, because it's going to be quite a robust meal, very flavorful. So I just wanted to get the cooking process started. All right. So first things first, let's get this into the slow cooker. So that's the onion and the bacon. Now this is a bit of a variant on a traditional dish. So normally you'd get like a collar butt, or I think they call it a neck roll in some parts of the country, and you would stuff it with pitted prunes, and then you would put all of that into a roasting dish, and you put beer over the top. You'd seal off that as well before you put it into the dish, and then put beer over the top until it's about half covered, and then you'd roast that off. So this is a take on that dish. Okay, so that's why we're going the way we're going. All right, I've got some asparagus here as well. Now that's just a jar of asparagus. I don't care if it's all mushed up. It's pretty much going to turn to liquid over the hours anyway. It's the flavor that we want, not the texture. So that's the reason why I've gone for tinned or jarred. If you want to use fresh asparagus, you can if you want to, but this just as good. Remember, keep it simple. You know, you don't have much time, fellas. You've got to get this on, get out to the golf course, get the motorcycle out, go out and do some shooting, go out and do some whatever it is that you do on a weekend, woodworking, gardening, whatever. Just get the shit in the slow cooker and then go and have your fun. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put the prunes in next because that sweetness is going to go all the way through. And then the asparagus, and that's purely just to provide a base for the meat to sit on. The reason I've done it that way is because when I put the fluid in, I want to make sure that I've got enough fluid to cover almost all of the meat. Because slow cookers only cook, they're not a radiant heat, so it's not like putting it in an oven and every bit of the dish is going to get heat. Most of your heat is going to come from the side walls and the bottom of the slow cooker. So if you put like just a couple of chopped onions and then whacked a roast on there with no fluid whatsoever, it's not going to work. There's not enough heat on the inside of the slow cooker to actually make it happen. You need to make sure that you've got enough fluid to transfer that heat from the outside to everything that's on the inside. Okay, all right, so now I'm just going to jumble. Oh, geez. Oh, I've got to get myself like a tripod or something. This is ridiculous. All right, into the base we go, and then we've got one of Mr. Cooper's finest over the top. Lid is straight off. This is just a straight sparkling ale beer. Now, obviously, if you wanted to, if you were feeling, a little bit fancy, you could most definitely use a German beer or something like that. All right, look at that beautiful frothing up there. That looks fantastic. But because we're over here in Aussie, oi, we need to keep it reasonably priced. I mean, the German beers that I like are the Weihenstephan beers, and those bad boys are at about $9 a bottle. You're looking at about $100 a carton, which is bloody ridiculous. So, considering that we're going to lose some fluid from the meat and a little bit more from the asparagus and the beer that we have in there, I reckon that's enough fluid right there. I reckon that's going to do nicely. So just a gentle stir just to get it all mixed up. Let the fluid settle and make sure I've got enough fluid in there. I reckon that's going to be bonza. We'll push that down. That's going to be fine. That's going to be A1. I'm gonna tell you, it already smells good, man. Seriously. Right, where's my lid? Where's it? There you are. We will turn it on this time, and boom, it's on to low. There we go. Now, the time is, oh, look at that. It's 8:30 in the morning. I'll do some checks throughout the day. If I feel it's video worthy, I will. If I feel it's not video worthy, I won't. And I'll catch you this afternoon. And I'll show you how we're going to thicken this using a French method. Okay? Rightio. Take care. Have a good day. See you later, slow cookers.